Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your man, Zittel. It's finally cold in Las Vegas. And Merry late Christmas to you. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and New Year's. So let's get into it. Inoue Nakatani doubleheader. I thought Nakatani Hernandez was a draw. I gave rounds 1 through 5 to Junto Nakatani, and I gave him the 10th round. And I gave 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12 to Sebastian Hernandez. And the judges didn't see it that way. One judge saw 10 rounds for Nakatani. I don't know what the fuck he was watching, but that's what he saw. So let's get into the fight itself. Nakatani got off to a great start. Hernandez hardly threw any punches the first 2 rounds. Then rounds 3, 4, he finally got closer to Nakatani, closed the gap, started to smother the power and get inside of that leverage and length of Nakatani's power shots and started to get to the body. Round 5 was a great round. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, Hernandez turned it into his fight. In the second half, Nakatani had to fight at the distance Hernandez forced the fight to. The difference in their work was, and this is what the judges must have favored Nakatani for, was Nakatani, he gets clean, nice leverage on his power shots, and Hernandez, I don't want to say arm punches, because he did snap his head around as the fight progressed with some nice clean left hooks and uppercuts, and his body work was tremendous and his volume was tremendous. But Hernandez doesn't generate the kind of force and leverage on his shots as Nakatani does. The problem for Nakatani is, and later on in the fight, he lost some steam out of his shots. And so his 1 or 2 to 5 or 6 of Hernandez's punches became a little less significant as time went on. He did enough in the 10th to use his feet to stem the tide a little bit. But then 11 and 12, Hernandez dragged him back to the pits of hell on the inside. And again, I thought made it a draw. And I wouldn't have been mad about a fight going 115, 113 either way. But 10-2 is one of the worst scorecards I've seen. That's not fair to Sebastian Hernandez. Nakatani, he fights with a really wide base, and even though he's tall, he doesn't have a good jab. He flickers it out there. It's a rangefinder. His power shot arsenal is excellent. He has a great uppercut with the right hand and the left hand. His left hand's his money punch. He has a nice straight left hand. He'll punctuate his 1-2-3 combo with a nice right hook and step off. For a tall guy, he gets underneath good sometimes, but when he was forced to have to box, like really box, he doesn't have a good authoritative jab, and he just couldn't switch gears and outbox Hernandez. Hernandez made him fight his fight. There's dogs barking in the hood. There always is on these walk and talks here. But yeah, that's a hole in his game. And again, for a tall guy, he'll get underneath. He has some good feet, but with that wide base, his jab isn't the best at that height, you know, and kind of Diego Pacheco too doesn't make the most, but I think Pacheco has a better jab than Nakatani does. Nakatani is still really excellent, but he was fortunate to get out of there with a unanimous decision. I thought it was a draw. It was talk about a late entry into the fight of the year candidate. It was absolutely a fight of the year candidate. It was a war, respect to both men. Hernandez's durability, you know, undefeated Mexican fighter. Nakatani's first fight at 122 pounds, he ran into a guy who could withstand the power better than guys at 115, 118. He's not going to have the kind of size advantage in the featherweight divisions that he had at super flyweight and at bantamweight. So, you know, he's going to have to, with Rudy Hernandez, find a way to add a little bit more boxing to his game, especially with that jab. But I like Nakatani. Who doesn't like Nakatani? It was a great fight. Hernandez surprised us. He was a huge underdog, and you know, got screwed over by the judges quite a bit there with that 118, 110. But moving on to Inoue, and I'll get to it later. I still want to see Inoue Nakatani, by the way, at the Tokyo Dome. But moving on to Inoue, this is he pitched a shutout. I thought Picasso won the 12th round. He caught Inoue with a left hook in between shots. But, you know, Inoue, surprisingly, he didn't close with the firepower late in this fight as he's one to do. This is an evolution in his temperament that may not have been spectacular down the stretch in this fight against Picasso, but it's a smart evolution in his temperament that could pay off dividends against bigger challenges and foes down the road. He has been a more patient fighter in the latter half of this year. After getting dropped by Luis Neri and Ramon Cardenas, he has decided you know, at 32, fighting bigger punchers now, bigger men, I have to be a little bit more patient, right? And he was content to pitch a shutout tonight. And I think that's smart down the road. I think he could have stopped Picasso, but he's evolving his temperament. He's being more of a patient boxer. And he'll need that in the first half in the fight against Nakatani, because Nakatani, not just in this fight, but previously, if you watch him, you notice he tapers off a little bit after the first couple rounds, after the first half of a fight. And so in the first half of a fight with Nakatani, he'll have to be a little bit patient and cautious, because Nakatani could really crack in the first half of the fight. And then when he moves up to featherweight, that's where this more patient temperament will really pay off for him, because featherweight is going to be a real challenge for him. Featherweight is where he might get beat. And when he gets to featherweight, I think he might, it's like 50-50. 50-50 that one of the champions will get him at featherweight, and then 50% that he'll become undisputed again to just take his accomplishments and career to another level. But I'm on the fence. I can see it going either way, and I'm really excited to see that happen. But first, for the David Picasso fight, Picasso just outgunned in speed, power, talent, everything across the board. Stayed in that high guard. He bent his knees a lot as a tall guy, probably a little bit too much, but what do I know? And Inoue, even without his most spectacular power bursts, I mean, he hurt him in the 5th round. He hurt him a number of times, but let's just talk about all the great things he does do. The speed, the power, the balance, the reflexes, the punch placement, and the technique and how he turns over his shots are all incredible. I mean, his reflexes, this was a hell of a defensive performance for him. He got caught sometimes, but his reflexes are incredible right now, still at 32 years old. And it's a more patient monster. This was a less violent monster, but I think that continuing to be just that violent monster, always looking for the knockout, was going to catch up to him sooner than later. And now it'll catch up to him maybe a little bit later, that he's evolving his temperament in that ring a little bit, adjusting it a little bit, being more patient. And I think the usual temperament we saw from him over the years probably would have led to a stoppage against Picasso. But again, I think this being a little bit more patient will pay off dividends against more challenging opponents down the road. So, but again, all those things I listed were still super impressive on display. I mean, if you take away the fact that he fights a little erect and a little too overconfident sometimes, and his chin a little too up, if you take that away, he's a perfect fighter. He can box. He has a great jab. You saw the jab bust him up to the body and to the head all night long. He ate the combinations, the way he overwhelmed Picasso, who isn't all that. I understand that at this level, but the way he overwhelmed him with combinations and the placement, the way he punctuates combinations with left hooks to the body, or sometimes his 1-2s are so straight down the pipe and so accurate, and turns them over with so much power in these weight classes that he just busts through their hand and knocks it. It's incredible. And the foot speed, anyways. But he does have those little deficiencies that I mentioned. And I want to still see the Nakatani fight, because they both deserve to do that for their sport in Japan, to fight on that stage in the Tokyo Dome, to have the biggest fight in Japanese boxing. I picked Inoue to win that fight before this, but I thought it was more of a 50-50. Nakatani with that left hand and the youth and the height and the power in that left hand. Inoue gets caught. You know, I thought it was more 50-50. I come away from tonight or this morning, whatever time it is, more convinced that Inoue wins that fight. And he deserves to have that capstone moment. Because in my eyes, he beats Nakatani. He's playing with house money. I mean, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer, but if he beats Nakatani, he's playing with house money at 26. It's like, who cares? If he gets caught by Carrington, Leo, or Espinoza at 26, who cares? He did so much at 22. He won the biggest Japanese fight of all time. He's the greatest Japanese fighter of all time. He deserves, and Nakatani still deserves, even though I thought it was a draw again, to have that moment in the Tokyo Dome. And I think Inoue wins, and that's the capstone for his career. And everything after that is, you know, just playing with house money at featherweight. He could just go up there and lose whatever, or win again and just keep going to another level in his career. And So yeah, I think he beats Nakatani. I still think we should see that fight next year. And then go to 26. And 26, I said it's 50-50. I'm leaning ever so slightly towards 26 is where he gets beat. Because those guys are bigger than him. And I think, Angelo Leo, I love that fight. Angelo Leo, when I've talked to him, says he thinks him and Inoue is a Pacquiao-Marquez kind of fight. That's the matchup he compares it to. Sign me up for it. Angelo's an excellent boxer with very good speed himself, naturally bigger man, good IQ, good timing, good arsenal, good all-around skill set. Love that fight. And then Rafael Espinoza is freaking huge. He's 6'1" and throws a million punches. Inoue's gonna hit him a lot. But Divino has an excellent offense. And I think he has a path to victory with his size, power, and volume. And then Carrington, who has to pick up the pace a little bit, doesn't use his jab enough, waits on counterpunching a little. He's too reliant on counterpunching. But I would love to see Carrington. It's time to start walking back because I think we're straying too far from my house now. But Carrington can match a lot of the speed of Inoue, and he's a great counterpuncher, and he's got 72-inch length. He's got a difficult fight with Carlos Castro, but I think Carrington has a path to victory too. All those guys have a path to victory, and Inoue clearly has a path to victory against all of them as well. So 26 should be, I can't wait for him to get to 26. I think he beats Nakatani at 22 to kind of cap off all that run at flyweight and the bantamweight divisions. And yeah, I think 26 will be awesome to watch Inoue go up there. And I think all those champions, one of them could be the one to beat him. But it'll be really fun to watch. He's a great fighter. And yeah, that's about all I got from here. You see the hat? You see the South Park hat? Screw you guys. I'm going home.